Good evening, everybody. How's everybody this fine Thursday evening? Hope the weather's all good with you. It's a bit chilly here in Donegal tonight. What am I doing tonight? Again, more of this wiring on the layout. It's going to be like that for the next couple of weeks, guys, getting all this done. I'll show you what I got done over the weekend because it was a bank holiday weekend here in Ireland and I was allowed 2 days in here. Doesn't look like I've done much, but I got quite a bit done over the weekend. So we'll go over that in a minute. Let's go to the chat, see who's in the house tonight. So we have Jake, Haunted Halloween Railway. Good evening, Jake. How are you doing? Tom Houston's in the house. Digger Evans. Good evening, sir. Who else have we got? Simon SJ, TrainWorld. Good evening, Simon. Hope you're keeping well. Martin O'Keefe. Good evening, sir. I hope you're all well. How's your weather down the country? Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider. Good evening, sir. Andy, hot dog pilot. Andy, watching your live stream there on Sunday. And if anybody hasn't checked out Andy's channel, do get over to him. He does a live stream every Sunday. Those signals, I was looking at them and I did put a question in the chat, but what wire is used to connect? Is it like a 2-core wire, single core, 3-core to connect the modules together? Simon Trains, Model Railway Showcase. Good evening, sir. We got any puns coming tonight? Good evening. I'm now wired on these wiring live streams. Haha, there it is. Charlie, Partick Hill Station. Good morning from California. Oh, I bet you're having better weather than us. Flymo's in the house. Jerry BVR, good evening, sir. Mick92, good evening. Peter Jackson, Cheetah Heath. Who else we got in? Who else? Brian, good evening, Brian. How you doing, sir? Hope you're keeping well. Graham, what have you done? Did you mean to do that? That's Graham, Lemington Station. I got a message coming up. You're hitting somebody. I don't know whether you meant to do that. RGJ Trains, good evening. Rob and Grace, how you doing, guys? That's all right. Digger's on the case. Leicester Station, TMD, Gary, good evening, sir. Who else have I missed? Anyone? Oh, Union the Growler's in. Good evening, sir. Did you accidentally hit something, Graham? Because I've done that before. That's all right, Graham. It happens to the best of us. Ivo Van Zon, good evening. Oh, chat is scooting up there. I think, there's the answer. I was looking for hot dog pilot. I use single core jumper wire, which is wrapped as a pair. It's all stuff BT uses in its exchanges. It's a long time since I was in a BT exchange. I used to work for Pirelli when they used to do contract into BT for fiber and cable installs. Oh, Lee's in the house. Good evening, Lee. How you doing? Anyway, hi to anybody who's lurking in the background. Hi to anybody who's watching this on a rerun. I hope you're all keeping well. Oh, let's keep that open. So tonight it's going to be more wiring. Actually, the base that the camera's on at the moment is the next section. I have 2 sections done, tested, wired, switches on, points working, ready to go. Whether they all fit back together and the track still lines up, that's a different matter, but we'll cross that bridge later on. So what have I done over the weekend? Well, I'm going to take this camera and just pan it around. So shaky camera work coming up, guys. So we've got the incline going up. So I laid track on this all the way around over the weekend. I also had to make sure I cut it in the sections and also put supports in at each section. And then, of course, I had to solder on the sleepers for doing the cuts in the track for the joins. So I've done all that now. So first stage tonight now is to get the old Dremel out, cut the track here, and I can take this board away and I can do the wiring on this. Shouldn't need any droppers on this because this is just straight track sections. All the tracks have got droppers on them already, so it's just a matter of running the bus and wiring it in. The next section will need droppers on it. On the upslopes, I got fed up with putting droppers where all the cuts are going to be, and I actually just ran some solder across some of the joints, so now I've got conductivity across the whole thing. Ran a couple of trains up and down it to test it, make sure everything was working, so we're all good. Oh, see Kieran's in the house. Hi Kieran, how are you doing? Yeah, that'd be great if you could show me, Andy. That I went on to their, so I was aware of them and I've looked at their stuff before, and I spent an evening then going through some of their YouTube videos on what they work, and I think for a bit of work I'm doing in the museum where I want to put some signals in, it'd be ideal because it's simple, it's automated. Somebody just has to come in the morning and switch it on and it will work. See, I've got, from working in IT so long, I've got rolls and rolls of Cat5 lying around and endless amount of different lengths patch cables. I'm really sorry about that, Mark. Phone was in my pocket while I was doing a delivery, and my phone decided to hide them. I'm so sorry. It's okay, Graham. I've done the same sort of thing. Don't worry about it. Things happen. I'm not sure if Rob and Grace, if they got a message to say they've been hidden off my channel, but you guys are back. You've been unhidden. Oh, Leslie's in. Good evening, Leslie. Oh, Carol's in as well. Good evening, Carol. Oh, you got sleet down there in Dublin, have you? We just got a little sleety rain earlier on today, and it's just been like that all day. There's been no snow, no pitching, no nothing. Cat5 wire is similar and should work well. All right, okay, yeah. It's all right, RGG training guys. If you read Graham's message, Lemington Station, he was doing a delivery and his phone was in his pocket, and whatever happened, he managed to hide one of your comments. It's okay, it's been unhidden, it's been sorted. Right. No, you can keep the snow down there, Carl. I don't want any of it. Right, so first things is I need to cut this track. So stand by, anybody who's on headphones or has got sound turned up. It's going to get noisy. So I find my safety glasses, the old goggles on. I was hoping to have this cut before the stream, but as usual, time just got away from me. So I'm going to move the camera over a wee bit. Speeds up. All right, stand by. Noise coming in. One track done. That's it. That's Craig in New Junction. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? Right, that's them all cut through. Just checking, make sure. Solder's come off on one of them, which I'll fix once I put them back together again. Right, now I need to just crawl under the baseboard, undo a couple of bolts, and then we're good to go. So again, it might be a bit of noise because I'm going to be using my electric screwdriver to undo the bolts. So talk amongst yourselves while I crawl under the baseboard. And there goes one of the cameras. Right, here we go. I'll put this camera back after it tumbled. Right, what did I miss in the chat? Oh, Raymond Legs is in. Good evening, Raymond. How you doing? Best, cheapest option for signal without spending loads? Well, it depends whether you want the signals just to sit there and look pretty or whether you want them to work. You can buy the ratio kits you can build, and then you can motorize them yourself. Or if you want light signals, then again, the ratio kits you can drill out and put LEDs in. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. The way I'm bolting my bolt, yeah, it's actually working quite well. So having two of those captive nuts either side. Now, it would have been a lot easier to do it as I was building the layout. What I should have done when I was building this layout is I should have built all the frame, bolted it all together, done all that work, and then put the hardwood, the plywood on top. But I didn't do that. I built each section separately and then bolted them together, which was a mistake. But having the captive nuts either side, that means the bolts stay in And as well as that, it's not going to cause wear as you put the bolt in and out as you take the layer up and down all the time. Oh, you reached 1,000 on that channel. Well done, Simon. Yes, I ticked over 4,000 subs last week. I think I was just under at last show, and then I ticked over then the next day. Moreland Motor Railway Andy, good evening, sir. How you doing? Hope you're keeping well. Gary, Leicester Station, check out Hot Dog Andy's live stream last week, what he was showing on there. That is, I suppose that's probably one of the most economical ways. Whatever way you want to automate signals is going to be expensive, but I think you're looking at the signal, and then what are those? About 20 quid a unit, I think they were. But check out his channel. It was Heathcote Electronics. You having trouble with YouTube, are you, Carl? Yeah, it's not everyone's cup of tea. I know some people have issues with it, and oh, the trains have stopped. It all went quiet. All right, let's reset them. I can't remember whether I said last week or not, but from the donations and super chats and the revenue and the channel membership and everything, I've purchased the new power supplies for the museum. They have arrived in what we call the northern office. So they'll be making their way down across the border shortly. I was hoping to have them today so I could open them up and show you guys. But I'm going to see if I can install them maybe over the weekend, because I need to go into the museum on Sunday to do a little bit of work. So actually, it's going to be quite a big project. I'm going to take out that master board and probably bring it home and do it here, and where it's a bit more warm and comfortable. Oh, Newland Railway Clive, good evening, sir. How you doing? Hope you're keeping well. Yeah, hit that like button and subscribe and share, please, as Flymo says. Oh, Graham's just sent me a video. Yeah, like that, Graham. He showed me his frames. Yeah, do it like that. Not the way I done it. But I make the mistakes so you guys don't have to. So going on the background there on the TV is another one from Ben Eastra, isn't it? I put a link to his channel up the top, along with Pete from Delph Junction. Well, it's Carl off. Okay, take care, Carl. Thanks, Charlie. Don Woolston, good evening, sir. How are you doing? Yeah, everyone, the best advice I had about the algorithm is replace the word algorithm with audience. That's all it is. You can do all these things with putting things in your title and having a thumbnail, having your tags, your keywords and things like that to get your content up there. So when somebody searches model railway, your stuff comes up. But then you need to concentrate on having the content. And that just comes with practice. I mean, if you look back at my first videos, they're bloody awful. You know, because I didn't have the confidence. I didn't know how to use the camera, the lighting, the mic and stuff like that. And every time I do a video, I learn something new. You know, I learn a new function on my camera or something new in the editing software or learn something new about lighting or something like that. And it's all those gradual steps. You just have to keep at it, keep plodding away, and you get into a rhythm. And like recently, I know it's the season for model railways when it's dark, cold evenings like this. But my sub numbers have started going up and up and up. I missed out on Monday, so I thought I'd have a look at Donegal Dad. Well, you're very welcome. Right, let's take this board apart. Move the camera again. So in theory now, this board should just come apart, unless some of the glue has dripped down where I've, oh, there we go. It's come apart. I need to tip it on its side and all those little bits that are lying on the board to fall off on the floor so I can vacuum up later. There we go. So you need now just to flip it over and we'll start the wiring. Oh, what was that? It sounded like something big. There we go. Right. So I'm going to move the camera again. So wobbly camera work. So you can see here when I was running the trains, just all the wires were just twisted together, just so there'd be continuity going around the circuit. Yeah, I cringe at my early videos as well, Simon, and so do my kids. I think but I think now I've got 4,000 subs. I'm not quite respected by my kids, but I think they're more accepting of it now. They're still terrified all their friends will find out, but you know. So I'm just testing all these wires. So first thing I need to do, get my pencil and mark which is the front and which is the back. So that's the front. Just so I know when it's upside down, the orientation of it, I know which way round it is. Like I say, this whole YouTube thing now has just become another hobby, and I don't actually mind doing it. And the trick with it is, if you're treating it as a hobby, don't put yourself under any pressure, because it's just not worth it. All right, I'm just checking the other board to see where the connection is, just so I put it in the corresponding place. It is 9 inches from the back. No, 9 inches from the front. I'm going to put that pencil. So that's the front. 9 inches. It's right there. And I'm going to zigzag it through, I think, because there's a couple of holes already drilled in this, so it'll save me drilling some new holes to run it through. If it zigzags a bit, it doesn't really matter too much. And then I'll put it this side, the same, 9 inches. Oh, Valerie's in the house. Hi, Valerie. How you doing? The inevitable spaghetti wiring. Yeah, well, there's another video out tomorrow on the wiring. This is more to video on the, where is it? The jig. Up there. Which reminds me, I haven't actually, where did I put the new jigs? Because I got them, but I didn't actually open the envelope. I've obviously put them away somewhere safely, so I'd know where they are. Here they are. So let's just open these and have a look. So these, you'll see on the video tomorrow, is the jigs for installing the seat motors. And if you look at Lemington Junction, Paul's, there, he was using the Scenic 3D ones for the, not the Tortoise, the DCC IP motors, what are they called? But jigs for those as well. And he found them very good as well. So big shout out to Jeff at Scenic 3D. So when I started using that one, it worked out so well. I went and got one there. That's for the double slip. Is that the jig for seat motors? I must have made a boo-boo and ordered the wrong one, because I've got the same jig sent twice. Nope. I did order the 3-way jig. You sent through the wrong one. I'll get in touch with them and send that back and get another one. But I also ordered some little 3D benches. I can paint them up and put them on the layout. That's for the one where the trains are going around at the minute. So that's the jigs there. That'll be handy for doing the double slips. I get embarrassed doing intros looking like Nanook of the North, often in different weather conditions. In the video I was introducing, reduced the interest the following day. Every time I watch that with Adam shouts at the screen going, Leslie! Are kids ever proud to their parents, not at least to their faces? Yeah. Hi, Joshua, W56 Gaming. You've had your haircut, have you? I hope you're looking spiffing, sir. Hot Rodney 25. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? I find it funny when people freak out about a few wires. Yeah. Yeah, some people just find wiring absolutely daunting. I don't. I grew up with wiring. My dad's a Sparky, so I've been learning about electrics from an early age. I was involved in computer installing networks. Again, that's, a lot of wiring involved in that. So, am I making any? Well, this is my 12-foot by 7-foot sectional layout that hopefully someday you will see at a show. But that's going to be at least 8, not this year, and probably not next year. Oh, yes, it's midterm. Yeah, my kids are finishing up for midterm tomorrow. Spaghetti wire, and I thought my bolognese had shocking bad taste. Simon, I'm going to have to ban you. I really am. I tell you what, guys, you would not want to see the comms cabinet that is in the railway. You know, what does it say? The old saying, the cobbler's kids have no shoes. Rothy0311, good evening, sir. You're from the Isle of Man and rode on the CDJRs, numbers 19 and 20. Yeah, I've heard rumors that they're going to get them out and start putting them back together again. They've been in storage, half restored since about 96, I think. Oh, Howard's in the house. Hi, Howard. How are you doing? Oh, Ivan's on. It's always fun when you get sparks to pull in the network cables, and then you go to terminate them, and not one of them are labeled. So you got to go and trace every one of them. Which is fine if you've got a tone device, but oh. Soldering upside down is not nice, Leslie. That's why doing it this way, where you can flip it over and work on it, it's so much easier. Sorry, lads, must jump the bus up to. Yeah, rub it in, Charlie. Yeah, rub it in. You enjoy your day. Have an ice cream for all of us. Oh, making up wire harnesses. Ah. Can't ban Simon. He tells worse jokes than me. Is it all spilled out the front? What's that referring to, Andy? What did I say? Yeah, I hope to be going to Northdown on 23rd, 24th. Yeah, be there as a visitor, have a look around. I finished. I told the foreman I was colorblind. Especially when the scenery department starts working for you. Yeah. Oh, the network cabinet. Yeah, it's a mess because the back end of it into the different panels wired in, but just because I had a box of odd patch cables, so they're all not nicely uniform length, and I couldn't be bothered to make up the proper size patch cables, and of course we're doing on a budget because we didn't want to spend money on stuff, so it's just a mess of patch cables going from. As well as that, we've got an injector on there to put 48 volts into the system for the Wi-Fi systems I've dotted about, the access points. So it's a bit messy. You can't close the door on it. There's that many cables spilling out. It's one of those jobs on my list, but it's not a high priority one because everything's working. So, all right, let's get some cable to use as a bus. Now, you'd think I'd have all this prepared. So again, using 1.5 twin and earth cable that I've stripped down to use as a bus. So I'm going to start off, put this in. This will be the DCC bus. So you need to cut off the blue that was on it before from whatever I was using it for in the last layout. Run this into place, and then we can connect the wires. Try not to slice into my fingers. Goes Valerie away. I trimmed the labels off too, yeah. Ten sparks, 2 days to trace everything. Oh. Just want to make sure I have my wires lined up properly so they go from one board to the other in the same order. So I have the black front, the feed is, sorry, just mumbling to myself here. Yeah, so that is always to the back. So this is where the connection will be from the next board. So I have got my connector block on here. There's 4 on there because there'll be another bus coming off there, which will be the power supply bus for the points. So on this board, it's just going to go straight through because there's no points on this section. It'll go into the next section. So I'm not going to screw it in place at the moment. I'm just going to feed the wire through. Actually, I should put some tape on it first. It's easier to do it now. So as I was saying before, to identify my bus wires when I'm under the board, the head torch on. Wondering why something isn't working. I put a little bit of colored tape at different different spaces. So when I see the yellow tape, I go, well, that's the DCC bus. The other bus has got black tape on it, so I go, well, that's the bus for the points. And then, of course, then on the upper level, there will be a 12-volt DC bus as well for accessories. Just anything to help wiring. So I can bring that back over there. This holes actually work out quite nicely. Oops. Oh, God. There goes the camera again. Everyone have a close-up there of the... Oh, let's put that. Where should I put it? Let's put it somewhere level. All right, let me just go back over the chat, see if I... Anthony, Middleport Junction. Good evening, Anthony. How you doing? Oh, RG train's off. Okay, take care, guys. Hope your mum's doing better. According to this, we got 37 in the chat, so please do hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new here. You got any questions, pop them in the chat. I'll do my best to try and answer them. So what I'm going to do is twist a couple of the lives together. And then we'll go about putting them, connecting them to the bus. So there's about 4 of the lives. So again, we've got black to the back. So I know those are my neutrals. Reds are lives. So red to the brown and black to the blue. So what I'll do is I'll connect these up. Before I solder them in place, I'll attach power. Just check everything's working and it doesn't short out, just in case there's any wires crossed that I haven't spotted. Hi, Seamus. Yeah, we just flew out Tuesday night and flew back last night. Oh, I'm doing good, Anthony. Not too bad. I'm happy out in my training room, doing some work on my layout, so can't complain. Over there. So, put them on my But I just use these wire strippers just to peel back a bit of the insulation. If you don't have a pair of these, sharp knife does the same job. Black is the neutral, so I'm just going to wrap that around. And then I'll solder it in place. But I'm just going to wrap them around for now. Hook up the power just to make sure everything works. I find this the easiest way of doing it. I know other people use connector blocks and things like that, but especially when the boards are up like this, drop a solder, it's in place, it's done. I know Seamus there gives out about my soldering. Yeah, Flymo's there put up the link to the Google Docs. If you don't want to do it in chat, you want to be anonymous, stick it on the Google Docs document, and then I can answer it. I usually get a notification when someone puts it on there. It was a handy way of just asking a question, and then I can always answer it in the next live stream. Does the table flip open? No, this is a baseboard sitting on top that I just take off. It just, if that's what you're referring to, Joshua. Graham, I had a quick look and I thought, yeah, that looks quite good. And that's as far as I got with the soldered iron. President XD Locomotive Shed, good evening, sir. How are you doing? So again, let's just put all these together. I don't usually connect any more than 4 in one go because I find that's just a little bit too much. Because I'm using, for the droppers, I'm using 7/0.02, which is 7 strands of 0.2 diameter. So I'm not too worried about, oh, that's actually a bit short, that one. Might just have to lengthen that. Where it's handy to have little scrap bits of wire that you can use instead of cutting bits off your roll. There's a little bit, that's just... What I'll do is I'll join that together and I'll solder it, put a little bit of shrink wrap on it, heat shrink on it. Be good to go. So again, black is the neutral. Now, in fact, oh, there's one I've left out. Oh dear. Yeah. 2, 3. How do I do that? Now, if I was being ultra neat and tidy, I would cut all these droppers to the same length and twist them all together. But what I do is I will just tidy them up, pin them to the baseboard so they're a bit more neat and tidy. Just realized it was on top chat. I wasn't seeing all the messages. Bit of cling film. Sorry, I'm not chatting with a guy. It's used to me as a rock wall. And that's what granddads are for. Or opas. Anthony, enjoy it while he's doing it. Raymond, there's going to be no block detection on this, no. Because this is really one big block. It's a storage yard. It's going to sit below it. I was actually over at, because it was a bank holiday here in the Republic, but it wasn't in the north, so I nipped across to Enniskillen. We had a day out on Monday, went across to my local model shop, and I plumbed for the Gauge Master Prodigy with the Wi-Fi. I've ordered it. He's going to get it in. So I'll have that in a month or two, because I said, look, he's getting it in. But I said, I'm not going to be able to afford it for a month or two. And he said, that's fine. He'll get it in, and I'll just pay him when I'm ready. Five trains on a rail replacement bus to get there. Well, Simon, you're dedicated. Martin, Shedmouth Junction. That reminds me, I wanted to mention your video. I watched it earlier on, about what you said about getting in. You're 100% right. And I totally agree with you. And that is one of the things I want to do with this layout, is when I'm at shows, I want to be stood out the front with this layout, talking to kids, getting them to control the trains, getting them involved. What you do, what you say you do with your daughter, Evie, is exactly right. Like, I have one of my daughter who helps me with the filming, Rachel, which some of you have met at shows. She's not into model railways, but she helps me with the YouTube and enjoys that. And it's all about spending time with your kids and getting them involved, doing little things. And I love what you do with Evie, with making those wagons and everything like that. I think it's great. And that is exactly what we need to get people into the hobby. Is model railways, as I said, is always about so much different things. It's not just running trains, it's woodwork, it's electrics, electronics, it's scenery building, it's making models, scratch building. There's just so many aspects of it, and there's something there for everyone. Yeah, so check out Martin and Evie over at Shedmouth. If one of my mods could put a link up to his channel and check out his video that he put out today. Couldn't agree more with what he said. Right, let's get the transformer out. Oh, it's Christopher as well. Hi, Christopher. How you doing? Yeah, my chat is frozen. Let's go back into it again. It was very interesting rabbling, Martin. Yeah, you have to create nostalgia, bringing it back. Like, as Martin said, everyone's first intro to model railways and railways is probably Thomas the Tank Engine. You know, we're to be honest, I still like watching Thomas now. Right, now I put my power supply somewhere safe so I know where it is. Because I had a big tidy up around here as well, so I cleared everything up and tidied everything up and reboxed everything as well over the weekend. Because I was losing track of stuff. Oh, hang on, you're looking at the back of my sofa there. Right. So if I hook this up to one track, that should take the power through everything. I'm sure you can even see that. There we go. So that's just running from my Gauge Master power supply. Power is on. Find the track tester. This little doohickey, two little contacts on the back. You rest on the track, and it lights up. You've got yellow. Run it along the track. Yellow light all the way along. So if I put it this way around, they should all light up in yellow, which they do. If it lights up in red, then that means a wire is crossed somewhere. So that's all working. So you see that there. Maybe you can see if it lights up in red. Or sorry, it lights up yellow. If the current was going the other direction, which if I swap these around, it lights up in red. You can see that. And if it's DCC, both light up. So block signaling, back fiber, really good for track testing and that sort of thing. Right, so all that works. It's all live. Every section is wired. So now we can get on and solder those connections. So I'll flip this back over. Right. Use that. That. Right, I'm going to get these plugged in, solder iron warm up. Sorry, the beeping is just me putting on my blow heater again, so I had to unplug it. Oh, Brian's in the house. Good evening, Brian. How are you doing, sir? Yeah, the track tester, as I said, is block signaling. Can you see that? Hang on, let me get it in the camera. Whoa. No, I think it's coming up. Just blocksignaling.co.uk to do all sorts of little bits of electronics for your model railway. My wife says most things work under the thumb. Just scrolling back through the chat, see if I missed anything. Yeah, I agree with that there, Jerry. Yeah, EV brings fun factor to the hobby, and it's the river counters who disapprove. And I've said it before, when you go to a show, when you go to a layout, and a train's not running because they're running it to a timetable, I think that's just, have the trains running, talk to the people. They're interested, they want to know how it's all built. Some of them come in and look at these things and they're amazed by them. You know, how you do it. Like, I want to be able to, we're planning to, with the railway, do some outreach to schools and things like that. So I'll be taking some layouts to schools and I'll be there with them, getting them to make seafoam trees and then saying, right, let's stick it on the layout. Where do you want to put it on the layout? And stick it on. And there's that interest in it, saying, look, this is what we made, a little tree. It's like seafoam tree, it takes seconds to make, but it looks so effective. First came into the hobby when I was 12 and my dad decided he wanted to build a model railway with me. Yeah, unfortunately my kids aren't interested in that. They have other interests. But I'm not forcing them. I mean, they might find an interest later in life. Roth 83. I'm going to get back into it. I'm thinking of retiring again, and this DCC stuff looks like the way to go. I like DCC. You control the, was it somebody said the difference between DCC and DC is DC, you control the tracks, DCC, you control the engines. And it's so much more with sound and lights and functions on the engines. And it is only 2 wires. But if you've got any questions on DCC, you want anything, pop them into chat or put a question in one of my videos or whatever, and I'll do my best to answer it. Yeah, there we go. Andy said it. I think he said it best. With DC, you drive the track. With DCC, you drive the locos. Yeah, it's like you mentioned DCC and Brian pops up trying to convert everyone back to DC. Oh, yes, Brian, yes, Bernie finger time. And there's Simon with the pun. Things are now getting heated on the stream with the soldering iron. Do check out Brian's website. I'm sure one of the mods will post it up for me there. He's started a little website where he's selling model railway bits and pieces at very reasonable prices. Whenever I put my sword on, Tracy runs to get the fire extinguisher. I do have a reputation. A nice carpet you got. Thanks, Joshua. How to do shed railway. I'm buying the whole unit. I'm buying the handheld, the transformer, because I'm currently using the Hornby Railmaster, which I'm just fed up with now. So I'm just going on to Gauge Master. I've been looking around for a while, and I think I've decided to go with it. First of the late 60s Triang Clockwork, then I got a Triang Hornby Battle Space Satellite, which I still have and want to refurb for nostalgia. Oh, very good. Yeah, very few kids do get train sets for Christmas now. But I know everyone goes on about the cost. Model railways has always been expensive. And then everyone moans at Hornby when they bring out the railroad stuff. And it's like, well, it's cheap. It looks good, it looks half decent, it runs, it's cheap. It helps you build up the hobby. And then if you want to save and buy a more expensive loco, like one of Bachmann's Class 31s they're bringing out with the DCC coupler on it for, was it 350 quid or something? Like what Martin said in his video there when he was at the Hornby Centre, they go and they see all the model railways and they come out, and the first thing they see is a single engine priced at 300 quid, and they immediately go, I can't afford that, I'm not doing that. How does anybody afford this hobby? It's far too expensive. And they walk away, not realizing you could probably get a train set with an oval track for under 100 quid. And that starts you off. That's that very layout that's got trains running out there. That's the whole idea behind that. You start it with an oval track, you build up from there, and you've got a working layout that will, fit in most houses, slide under a double bed, maybe not the mountains, but that's the whole idea of it. It's the creativity of the hobby, gives you a warm feeling, making things yourself, hopefully not burning your fingers on a soldering iron. Trinity Dock Street Bridge and the person. Yeah, it's if you have somebody engaging with them and talk to people about the layouts, and because it's more than just watching trains go around or buying the latest model. It's building the model layout. It's doing the scenery and laying the track and doing the electrics and getting things working and figuring stuff out and learning new skills. Like I've said it before, I think, I'm not one of these people who runs trains to a timetable or does shunting or anything like that, but actually having the trains just running around is a bit boring if you're watching that. If you're actually building it and doing something, it's far more interesting. I know some people hate me for saying that, but having the trains running around here in the back of the live stream, it's nice and it's kind of relaxing. But this is what I want to do. Build something. Burn my fingers. I know everybody's waiting for this. I know Seamus is there in the background watching, so he couldn't critique my soldering method. And of course, when the camera's on, it never goes right. It never works well. So what I'm doing there is just putting a little bit of flux on. It helps the solder flow. Oh, actually, I've got the camera on, so you can't see what I'm doing. Hang on, let me move the camera over, guys. Sorry about that. Right, you see now? So what I was using is some flux, just painting it on over where I'm going to solder. Just helps the solder flow. And you'll get these people go, you don't need flux, you can solder without it. But when you're not an expert solderer, is that a word? Every little helps. I must admit, I've had the solder with the flux in this the flux core. I just find that really messy and I didn't get on with it. Pressure mark, 41 people watching your technique. This is how you burn your fingers. I don't know why, but my chat keeps freezing tonight. So if you have put a comment in and I've missed it, or you asked a question, do put it in again. Hermitage Road, good evening, sir. How are you doing? Just don't, yeah, I don't use the lead-free solder. Okay, Brian, take care. Oh, Chris Valley 56, good evening, Chris. How are you doing? And Christopher Hobby Vlog. I can't remember whether I said hello to you guys or not, but hello, welcome to the stream. Again, hi to anybody who's lurking in the background. Do feel free to pop in and say hello. Any questions, pop them in the chat. If I miss it, you can post it again, or one of my mods will bring it to my attention. Now again, with this solder, we should be using it in a well-ventilated area. Usually I have a little fan going to blow it away from my face. Oh, trains have all stopped. Something shorted out. I'll get to that. Get them running again in a second. And you also want to make sure the soldering iron is all nice and hot. Oh, I can feel the tension. I don't know how much it's very hard to do this. Lead-free equals decaf, both are pointless. Alcohol-free Guinness. When I'm driving, I don't mind the Guinness Zero. It's not as good as the proper Guinness, but if I'm driving, don't mind it. But something I find out actually about the Guinness Zero is if those cans of Guinness Zero aren't stored properly, they will ferment in the cans and you'll end up with alcoholic zero-free Guinness. What watches is best for well, most of mine that I've been using have been about 30 watt, and that's fine. This is a beefier, juicy one because I do some soldering on G-gauge track, and you need a lot of heat with that. And I think this is a, what was it? This is a 60 watt, and I find this works better. Seamus might disagree because he's seen some of my soldering. So, sorry, I'm just moving the camera again so you can see what I'm doing. Put the soldering iron down while you're trying to fiddle with the camera so you don't burn yourself. There we go. Hi, Rachel. That's my daughter. I hope, is Adam in bed? And has that mummy come home? If you're still watching, Adam, hi, Adam. And hi, Rebecca. I'll get told off every week if I don't say hello to them too. It's quite funny. If I'm watching a video, he'll come in and go, Oh, is that Leslie? Is that Rob and Grace? Like I was watching Rob and Grace the other night, and of course Rob's had his gone bright blonde for some reason. I think it's, and he came in and he said, "Why has Rob got funny hair?" So all you guys with YouTube channels, he recognizes a lot of you. Oops. I'm trying to do this while leaning over the camera. Come on. There we go. Ow! There was a splatter of solder then went to my finger. Right, I think that's that. Is that done? Little gold pot of caviar. That is the for cleaning the tip. Hey, I'm old enough to remember when Guinness tasted like a stout. Oh, Adam's fast asleep. Okay. Yeah, some of the modern soldering irons seem to have a cutout if you don't use them, and then you don't realize your thing is there heating away, and you realize it's cut out and it's getting cold, and you've got to switch it back on again. I know I have one like that. Yeah, temperature is king when it comes to. I agree with that. Yeah, you need a minimum of 40 watt. Yeah, I find the 30 watt was okay, but it's definitely easier with this 60 watt. Every time you solder, I'm like, please don't burn your fingers. Yeah, my chat keeps freezing, so I'm losing a lot of messages tonight. So if you put anything up and I haven't commented on it or put any questions up and I missed it, I apologize. Running a book on the burn count. Well, there was only sort of one tonight, and that was just a little splatter of solder went on my thumb, so it was not too bad. Yeah, this I sort of inherited this solder. There's quite a bit of it there, and I have another 2 rolls of this, I think. So it'll keep me going for a while. I mean, to be honest, I have no idea what it is because there's no labels on it. I'm presuming it's lead. Right, your chat's erratic as well. All right, Jerry. Yeah, no, it's just it keeps freezing on me. I see messages because I've got obviously my StreamYard going on the laptop here, and I look over that. There's different messages to what I've got on my phone, and they keep freezing. And so, apologies if I missed any. I'm sorry, but it seems to be YouTube who are doing their thing. Yeah, so there is an issue with the chat, so it's not just me then. Right, where did I put me Dr. Pepper? What time are we at anyway? Oh, just gone 10 to 9. Now, obviously, when I'm soldering a board, this board would probably take me about half an hour to do if I wasn't doing it live on YouTube while chatting to you guys. But you can see there, wrapping the wires around, soldering them. It took literally, what, 10, 20 minutes? So what I do now is I just put a little bit of the same colored insulation tape around it as the bus. So yellow. Just so if there is any movement, they go together. There's a little bit of insulation there to stop shorts. As well as that, it keeps it a little bit more secure as well. You can use a bit of heat shrink on there if you want, but just for ease and quickness, I just use a little bit of insulation tape. Oh, I need to put a little bit of solder on that joint as well. And then I will put a little bit of So again, same color. Now when I'm under the board, look at that, see the yellow and go, that's the DCC bus. And because it's sectional, if I do have a fault, I can disconnect all the sections and then connect each section in turn to find out where the fault is to help narrow it down. Right, let's see if I can, one last little bit of soldering. Oh, Anthony's up. Okay, Anthony, Metaport. Catch you again. Right, let's just do this. Just keep it on there a few seconds so it just gets the heat. Come on. See, this is what you get sometimes. It just doesn't want to do it. There we go. There, a little bit of solder on that. That's that heated, soldered. Right, unplug my soldering iron now because I don't need it anymore. Move it out of the way somewhere so I don't burn myself. And then, oh, actually, I did want my soldering iron again. There should be just enough heat left in it while it's cooling. Just to put a bit of, so I've got a little bit of heat shrink, just going to pop it over that joint. Bring over the soldering iron again. we go. Keep it insulated and add a bit of strength to it as well. Right, that's that done. So I just need to tidy up the bus now. And for that, I use a staple gun like this. Okay, just make sure the camera's pointing down so you can see what's what. Obviously that's going to go there. I'm not going to staple down that end yet because I've got another bus to put in there. I just use a staple gun. Careful not to put it through the wire. And that secures it to the baseboard. If you have a big bunch of wires, staple a cable tie to it and then put the cable tie around the wire. This just keeps everything back, keeps it neat and tidy. That is loud. And then we can do a little bit of tidying up with these wires. Just bunch them together. Again, that just keeps the wires neat and tidy. So if you're moving baseboards around, less chance of catching one. I'm pulling a wire out. So, like that. Still looks a mess. When you look underneath, you know, yellow is the DCC, red is the positive, black is the negative. Simple as that. Am I using U-shaped stick? No, they're not U-shaped. They're normal sort of flat shaped, not using U-shaped. I suppose that actually would be better to use U-shaped. What was tip Leslie left? No, my chat's gone again. Yeah, that's the other thing. You have be careful that my staples I use aren't deep enough to go all the way through. But yeah, now you mention it, U-shaped staples would be better. If you melt a sleeper, just put extra ballast over it. Yeah, exactly. That used to be brass wool in the caviar dish. It looks a mess, but at least it looks a tidy mess. Yeah, hiding the melted sleepers. Like I have several sleepers melted, but to be honest, a bit of ballast, you know, a bit of vegetation or something placed nearby, you know, distracts from it. You don't see it, or you can just leave a bit of rubbish on it. But yeah, so well, we're gone 9 o'clock now. I think I'm gonna call it a night. So this is your 2-minute warning, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I said the video out tomorrow will be on the Scenic 3D jig, which I've put down. I can't find. This job here. Excellent. Can't recommend it enough. Check out Lemington Junction as well. He was using one for his IP motors. Jeff, who made these, does them for different types of point motors. I use the seat point motors. It made fitting them so much easier. Oh, Moira Kern, I didn't see you in there, but good night. Thanks for popping in. So I say that the next few streams, actually, I'm not sure if I'm going to be on next week because I have something coming up and I don't know whether I can get out of it or not. So there may be no stream next week, but there certainly should be a video out next Friday. So stand by your beds and see if I'm back next Thursday, but I'm definitely back the Thursday after that. So take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. So video out tomorrow morning. Take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new here. You know, all those YouTube things. But we got a little bit more wiring done. I'll say over the next few weeks, it's going to be much the same thing. I may change it up one night for going into the museum or something like that. Do some work in there just for a change. So do check out Martin Shedmouth's channel if you're not already a member. Subscribe to him. Check out that video he done today. Mate, you've got very good points. And just Martin, you and Evie, keep up all the great work. Love watching your videos along with a lot of other people. So keep it up. So with that, I will say good night, guys, and might see you next Thursday. If not, it'll be the Thursday after. But take care, everyone. It's been a pleasure as always. Good chat tonight. So take care, everyone, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now.